Hey girls, I'm Paul Hynes I'm the chef and co-owner of the Cote Restaurant here in Wexford. Emily McCann has asked me would I kindly do a dessert for your demonstrations over Christmas. So you know, I was lucky last week. We changed the Christmas menu. We came up with a little dessert which is inspired by a chocolate fondant. But what I've done is I've taken 150 grams of chocolate out of the recipe and added Christmas pudding to that recipe to create a little Christmas pudding fondant. So that's it there. I'm just going to put that in the oven, and just hopefully this will be finished by the time we're done the demonstration, and I can serve it up and just show you the way we serve in the restaurant. So I'm just going to put that in the oven here for about 4 minutes, 5 minutes actually. 5 minutes in the oven at 200 degrees. And what I have here is I have whisked these eggs already because of the noise that it will create for the demonstration. What I have is 4 eggs and 4 egg yolks, whisked up to a creamy foam. So once you get the air, it's all about getting the air into the mix. So once you get the air in that, what I have is over here is I have it's called a bain-marie. That's where you would have a half a pot of water, and you would use a bowl over the half pot of water steaming, just to create. It's not really sitting on the bottom in the water. You're not boiling it. You're actually just using the steam to heat. So what I'm going to do is I have my chocolate, I have my Christmas pudding, and I have 200 grams of butter. So I'll be posting up the recipe as well. I'll email the recipe on it, so you'll have the recipe. I know this video is going to be going on Facebook anyway, and I'm just trying to make it as quick as I can to give you a nice demonstration. So I have that bowl with my butter, my Christmas pudding, and my chocolate. We'll sit over that steaming bain-marie over here. So now I've done one already because of the time. So I have one here. I'm just going to use that. So I have my melted chocolate and Christmas pudding here ready to go in to my mix. So I just make sure to break down the Christmas pudding. Make sure it's going to be lumpy. Now you can make this with 200 grams of chocolate just for the fondant. And it's a very simple recipe. So, and don't be afraid of it. Like, that's one thing. It's fear probably is that because it's such an elegant dessert, you kind of think it's complicated, but it actually isn't. So, and this will probably just demonstrate and show you how kind of simple it is. Once you get your eggs whisked up to a nice foam, and you have melted your chocolate and pudding, just fold that in to your mix. If you don't whisk it with a whisk, just with a spoon. If you just gently fold it in and try to keep the air in the mix, that's what it would be about. Is just keeping the air in that mix. Just get all your chocolate in there, or all your whatever you're using. You can, like I said, you could use 200 grams of chocolate. I have 150 grams of Christmas pudding to 70 grams of chocolate. So that's all lovely now. It's all nicely mixed in there, like so. What I'm going to do now is I have some 200 grams of plain flour. So just like the way I got the chocolate in there, I want to fold the flour in nice and gently. So I'm only going to do it in a couple, not all in one go, just in a few batches. So let's say three batches of flour sieved in and folded in as well. So you just gently fold that. I'm just watching my time here now for the fondant. It's nearly there. So you just incorporate that. This is probably the longest part of the actual dessert, is getting the flour in. Once you have it, and it's one of those kind of one pot. You just need your mixing bowl, 2 bowls. That's it. I leave my eggs in there. Actually, I make it all in the mixing bowl. I don't bother transferring it. I have it all there. So there's my time now for the fondant, so hopefully that's ready. And I'll just let it sit there for just to rest. Now, yeah, that looks perfect. So what you're looking for is for it to have risen, but it's still soft in the middle. It's hard, it's cooked around the edges, but it's the gooey center is what you're looking for. So I'm just going to let that rest there for a sec before we finish the rest of this. And it's one of those kind of one pot. You just need your mixing bowl, 2 bowls. That's it. I leave my eggs in the. I make it all in the mixing bowl. I don't bother transferring it. I have it all there. So there's my time now for the fondant. So hopefully that's ready, and I'll just let it sit there for just to rest. Now, yeah, that looks perfect. So what you're looking for is for it to have risen, but it's still soft in the middle. It's hard, it's cooked around the edges, but it's the gooey center is what you're looking for. So I'm just going to let that rest there for a sec before we finish the rest of this. So now, I already have all of that in there now. Again, this is just it's only a variation of this dessert. You can make it with, and now the chocolate I use is a 70% dark chocolate. If you're using it, you could, just look for the darker, the higher the percentage, the more chocolatey it's going to be. And with the Christmas pudding, I mean, I'm using my Christmas pudding, so preferably a homemade Christmas pudding. Because you don't know what's in the shop bought one, so I don't know how it's going to work. But I do know this, with a homemade Christmas pudding, this just works wonderfully. So, there's my mix now. It's still got it's nice and airy. So what we have here is we have Dario molds. You get them in any of the baking shops, and if you can, look for the aluminium ones because they last a lifetime. You can get the other steel ones or the non-stick. They end up over time they end up scratching and then they start rusting. But with the aluminium ones last. So what we do with that is we rub some butter on the inside of the Dario mold. So you rub a piece of butter all the way around. Just take your piece of butter with the paper, rub it around, and then on the bottom, what we do is we add a little piece of parchment paper. Parchment paper goes to the bottom because the butter is fine, you'll get it around, you'll get it out. It's all about getting it out of the mold when it's after cooking. So once you have the parchment paper in the bottom, and then you scoop out the fondant, I'll show you now, the parchment paper will help that pop out onto your plate. So these are very easy, you can do them up in advance. So if you wanted to do them for Christmas Day, you could do them up the day before and have them in the fridge ready to go, and just have them all in the Dario molds. Have your oven on 200 degrees, bang it in, and they'll be ready in 5 minutes. So there's your dessert. I'm just going to show you the way we do this dessert in La Cote. And actually, I'll just fill one of these before I finish. But you can use this. I'm only serving it with a sorbet. A raspberry sorbet that we have on, but I mean if you just want to serve it with vanilla ice cream or any ice cream that you have there, it'd be lovely. Toffee ice cream, coffee ice cream, it'd be gorgeous. So we have a clove scented raspberry just for Christmas. Cloves are lovely, that kind of mimic a mulled wine. So I have my chocolate in my Dario mold there now, ready for the chocolate fondant or Christmas pudding fondant into the Dario mold. So you will get your pudding and go around the edges with the knife. And make sure you use a cloth. This is after cooling down a bit, but it's still kind of hot. So like I said, when you're doing it yourself, you'd use a cloth, just hold it around the edges. that's starting to move now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it out onto the plate. It will come out. So there we go. It's popped out on the plate. Now just take your piece of paper off the bottom, and you can serve it. You can serve it like that if you want, or if it's intact, you serve it up on the top. So for me, I just have what I have here now is I have some biscotti that we have over there, some dehydrated biscotti. That's just to hold my sorbet. So and we just have some raspberry sorbet here, but like I said, you could use vanilla ice cream or anything like that, or just have it on its own, because the center is, or just with some cream, you know, like if you have some cream there, even the stuff that's in the bottle, gorgeous. A scoop of ice cream, and away you go. So what we have is we just have a little bit of sorbet there. I have some meringues, just a little bit of the meringue that we dehydrated, these little meringues as well. In the restaurant, we just for decoration, we just put these around, and a little bit of ice and sugar. And that is our chocolate pudding dessert at the Cote. So just to give you an idea then, what you're looking for is that when you put your spoon in, you've got a lovely sauce in the center. Once it's nice and cold.